Hello friends, welcome to all. Myself Vishal Chokidas. Today we will discuss about construction and working of thermocouple. And thermocouple is a temperature measurement device, or we can say that it is a temperature transducer. And this topic is covered in the subject of industrial instrumentation. Now start with principles. It consists of two pieces of dissimilar metals with their ends joined together. Twisting, soldering, or welding. Anyway, we can join these two metals. So, important thing is that two metals will be dissimilar. Same metals cannot be used for this purpose. When heat is applied, voltage is generated, and generally the voltage is in terms of millivolt. So whenever heat is applied, proportional to this heat, the millivolt is generated. So this is the active transducer because there is no need of any external power supply. So thermocouple is a active transducer because there is no need of any external power supply. Whenever heat is applied, proportional to that heat, there is a voltage is generated. The joint produce a thermal electromotive force when junctions at different temperature. See, there are joint of two dissimilar metals, and this joint produce EMF. It is known as thermal EMF. When two junctions are at different temperature, at that time thermal EMF is generated. Here we can see the diagram of thermocouple. See, here is a metal A, we can see here metal B, and these two metals are joined at this place. This is known as measuring junction, or sometimes it is also called as hot junction. And these are the extension leads. Okay, and these leads are connected to the junction. This junction is known as reference junctions or cold junctions. Okay, so here we can see that how these leads are connected with reference junctions or cold junctions. And here is the indicating instrument will be there. Indicating instrument may be potentiometer, galvanometer, or millivoltmeter. So any indicating meter can be used for the measurement of output. So this is the basic construction of thermocouple. We have already mentioned that thermocouple is self-powered. It means there is no need of any external supply. Typical response time of bar thermocouple is 0.2 to 12 seconds. So this is the typical response time of the thermocouple. Now construction. Here we can see construction. Okay, here is a joint of two dissimilar metals is we can see, and it is also known as heated source or hot junction, we can say that. And two metals used are iron wire and copper wire. Okay, and two ends of iron wire and copper wire is connected with voltmeter for measuring the generated voltage. And this same setup is we can see in this photograph. This is the practical setup of thermocouple in a instrumentation laboratory. So this is the construction, how we can construct using these components. Thermocouple wires are manufactured to close tolerances and tend to be expensive. So thermocouple wire should be manufactured with closed tolerances. It means there should not be any more tolerances. Their limited is to probe itself. Then thermocouple extension wires used as a link between thermocouple and measuring device or transducer. So extension wire is used between thermocouple and measuring device. Measuring device may be voltmeter or galvanometer or any indicating instrument. So there is a bridge between this is a extension wire. Here we can see practical thermocouple. Okay, so this type of thermocouples are used in industries. Now we can see one diagram of thermocouple. Okay, here is the connection head and there is a terminal block. In this there are two terminals. Okay, and in the center there is a insulated thermocouple. Okay, and outer tube is known as protecting tube or well. It is used for protection of thermocouple. And here we can see the extension assembly. It means we can extend the thermocouple using extension wire. So this is the extension assembly. So this is the typical construction used in industrial thermocouples. Three basic types of thermocouple constructions. One is ceramic beaded, another one is insulated. It means plastic, glass or ceramic fiber. This type of insulators are used in a insulated construction. Another one is metal sheathed mineral insulated. In short, it is known as MSMI, extruded sheath stainless steel, Inconel and mineral. So this is the composition of a chemical material. It is known as Al2O3 or MgO. So this is used for the construction of thermocouple. Thermocouple can be constructed to be protected or exposed. So construction should be protected and exposed. Okay, now protected. So in a protected can be grounded or ungrounded. It may be grounded or ungrounded. Grounded then give faster response but susceptible to electrical noise. In a grounded type the response is faster, but the disadvantage is it is susceptible to electrical noise. And for ungrounded, response is slower as compared to grounded and electrically isolated, because there is no ground, so it is electrically isolated. Thermocouple may be spring loaded, so the tip and well surface remain in contact to ensure good heat transfer. See, in some type of construction there may be spring loaded. It means it is continuously contact with the heat transfer. So it is a good thing for spring loaded thermocouples. If exposed, the faster response is provided, but the wires are totally unprotected. See, in an exposed type of construction, the response is faster, but the wires are totally unprotected. So this is the problem with exposed type. When thermocouple get thinner, the recommended upper temperature limit is reduced. Okay, whenever the thermocouple is thinner, at that time the recommended upper temperature limit is reduced. The error decreases and the response is faster to temperature changes. The error is decreases in a thinner type and response is faster. So this is the advantage. This is advantage for thinner type thermocouples. The element becomes more fragile for thinner type of thermocouples. At a high temperature, accuracy is more sensitive to material. So at a high temperature, it is sensitive to material. It means wire impurities. We know that in any metal or any material, there are some proportion of impurities are there. So it is affected in accuracy at high temperatures. Here we can see the typical industrial type thermocouple. This is also the construction of 3D image of thermocouple and compression style thermocouple is there. So here we can see that one junction is there and two wire we can see, one is red and one is blue. So it is known as a grade wire. Then there is a sheath, stainless steel sheath minimizes the corrosion. Here we can see adjustable compression fitting. It means we can using this type of construction we can adjust compression. Then here we can see stainless steel armor, stainless steel braid or plain lead wire also available. Okay, so this is the typical thermocouple image in 3D. Now operations, how it works. So in a thermocouple there are two junctions for measuring. One is known as hot junction that we have mentioned earlier also. What is hot junction? The end inserted in the medium to measure temperature is known as hot junction. It means if we have to measure the temperature of some liquid and the thermocouple is inserted in the liquid medium or any other medium, so this end is known as hot junction. Another junction is cold junction. What is cold junction? It is connected to measurement device. It means maybe millimeter, potentiometer or galvanometer. So we know that there are two junctions. So one junction is at measurement side. This measurement side junction is known as cold junction because it is not heated through the heat source. Voltage generated depends on the temperature. So we have already seen that the voltage generated in a thermocouple is proportional to temperature. In a circuit, here we can see one circuit is there. Here we can see junction 1 at temperature T1. Here is junction 2 at temperature T2. Here is metal A and in upper side there is metal B. And here we have used indicating meter as galvanometer. So it is a typical thermocouple circuit. In this circuit, loop current depends on relative magnitude of voltage detected by galvanometer. So relative magnitude will be detected by galvanometer. Here we can see galvanometer. Okay. To measure temperature, one end contact with process, other end kept at constant temperature. So for measuring the temperature, we have already discussed that one end is contact with process. It means temperature, one end is near to the temperature to be measured and other end kept at constant temperature. It is also known as reference temperature. EMF thermocouple increases when the difference in junction temperature increases. It means junction temperature difference is increases in the proportional that EMF of thermocouple is also increases. So this is the operation of thermocouple. Relationship between total circuit voltage EMF and EMF at the junction is circuit EMF is equal to measurement EMF minus reference EMF. So this way we can find the circuit EMF. If circuit EMF and reference EMF known, measurement can be calculated. See, if the reference EMF is already well known and if the circuit EMF is also known, then we can measure the measurement. Using this calculation we can calculate the measurement. Convert to 4 to 20 milliampere signal transmitted is needed temperature transmitter. See, we have also already mentioned that the output signal is in terms of milliampere. It may be 4 to 20 milliampere signal. So for transmit this signal, there should be temperature transmitter. The temperature measurement circuit consists of thermocouple connected directly to temperature transmitter. So here we can see the simplified thermocouple temperature transmitter in this figure. Okay. Here we can see in a left hand side there is a measurement junction at process temperature, and in a right hand side we can see here in the upper part there is metal A, here is metal B. These two dissimilar metals are connected, and here is the reference junction. Okay, here is the reference junction, and this box is the temperature transmitter. So here we can see that there is a metal C also, and it is used at reference junction, and output is 4 to 20 milliampere, that we can see here. So this is the arrangement of a simplified thermocouple temperature transmitter. Hot and cold junction can located whenever required to measure temperature difference. So these two junctions can be located whenever required. It means we can locate the location of these two junctions. Need monitor the temperature rise to ensure the safe operation. See, there is a limit of temperature, so we have to monitor the temperature rise whenever we are measuring using thermocouple to ensure the safe operation. For safety purpose, we have to continuously monitor the temperature rise. Temperature rise of a device is the operating temperature using ambient or room temperature as the reference. So this is the way. So meaning of this sentence is that room temperature is taken as a reference temperature, and the temperature rise of the device will be comparing with this reference temperature, and using this we can measure the temperature. So this is the simplified thermocouple temperature transmitter. Now thermocouple types. So how many types of thermocouples are available? So we will see briefly different types of thermocouples. First one is copper constantan type. It means it is a type T. It is known as type T. So copper and constantan are metals, and these two are 2D similar metals. Pure copper will be considered as a positive element and constant ton will be considered as a negative element. So this is the way how we can use these two metals. Constant ton is how can we make a constant ton? It is a group of alloys contain approximately 55% copper and 45% nickel. So using this combination we can make the constant ton alloy. So it is a group of alloys. Next method is iron constant ton method. It is known as type J. So in this case iron will be considered as a positive element and constant ton will be considered as a negative element, and it can be applied in oxidizing or reducing atmospheres. So this is the way how can we use iron constant ton type, or it is also known as type J. Another one is chromel alumel, and it is also known as type K. In this case, chromel and element both are alloys. Okay, so chromel is considered as a positive element, and alumel is considered as a negative element. Chromel is an alloy with a nominal composition of 90% nickel and 10% chromium. So this is the combination of nickel and chromium will make chromel. And how can we make alumel? Alumel contains 95% nickel plus aluminum and silicon with manganese. So here are the main content of the alumel is nickel plus aluminum and silicon with manganese. So these are some portion of different materials are used in to make the alumel. Chromel alumel thermocouple must be used in oxidizing or neutral atmospheres. So it must be used in a oxidizing atmosphere or neutral atmospheres. So this is one type of thermocouple. Another one is chromel constant ton type, and it is also known as type E type. So chromel will be considered as a positive element and constant ton as a negative element. Highest EMF per degree change of temperature of any commonly used thermocouple. It means in this case we can get highest EMF output in a thermocouple. So this is the advantage for this. Suitable for oxidizing atmospheres and not corrode at sub-freezing temperature. See, this is also we can consider as an advantage because it is suitable for oxidizing atmospheres and there is no corrosion also. Operating limits of minus 180 degree centigrade and plus 870 degree centigrade. So it is a device when protected and is available in wire. So this operating range is very wide in this case. So we are using this. Now this is the summary of different thermocouples. Okay, so we have already seen the different types J, K, T, E and N. Okay, so temperature range, material, accuracy, all these things are different for different thermocouples. So we will see for example J type. Okay, so in we can see the summary of different types of thermocouples. Uh, we can see here it is a J, K, T, E and N type thermocouples are there. and materials, temperature range, accuracy, all these things are different for different types of thermocouples. For example, if we take example of a J type thermocouple, then material used in this case is iron and constant ton. Iron is used in positive element and for negative element there is a constant ton. Temperature range of 32 Fahrenheit to 1400 Fahrenheit. This is the range of temperature for this type of thermocouple. Then accuracy, it is equal plus or minus 4 or 4 Fahrenheit or 0.75%. So it is also good for thermocouples. Okay, this is the grade JJ and accuracy is 0.4%. So these are the characteristics of J-type thermocouple. Same way we can say the K, T, E and all type of thermocouples, and we can compare all these things. Almost all the characteristics are same, but there is a change in temperature range. Temperature range of different type of thermocouples are different. So this is the way how can we summarize this. Now advantages: resistance to corrosion in moist atmosphere, error below 0 degree centigrade, suitable for sub-freezing temperature measurement. So see, this is the advantage because there is a resistance to corrosion. So it is a major advantage because in a moisture environment there is a corrosion problem is there. So it limits error below 0 degree centigrade. So it is suitable for sub-freezing temperature measurement. Can be furnished higher degree of accuracy for temperature between minus 270 degree centigrade and plus 400 degree centigrade than any other commonly used thermocouple. So accuracy of this is very high, and the range of this is also minus 270 to 400 degree centigrade. So we can consider this as a advantages. Can be applied in either oxidizing or reducing atmospheres between stated temperature. So it can be applied for oxidizing or reducing atmospheres. So it is also the advantage. Used on most transformers. We can use it in a transformers. Hot junction inside the transformer oil and cold junction at the meter mounted on the outside. So hot junction is inside the transformer oil, and reference or cold junction is outside the transformer oil. It means it is and used extensively around the turbine hole because of their rugged construction and low cost. So these are the advantages: rugged construction and low cost. Next advantage is capable of measuring a wider temperature range than RTD. So here is the temperature range is more than RTD. So as compared to RTD, there is a wider temperature range. Then self-powered. See, it is an active transducer. So it is self-powered. It means there is no need of any external power supply. Then simple and rigid, inexpensive. Half price of RTD. It means its price is half of the RTD. So it is advantage. Wide choice of physical forms. There are different physical forms are available. So it is also we can consider as advantage. Can be calibrated to generate a specific curve and easy to interchange. So we can calibrate it for our requirement, specific requirement, and easy to interchange. Then fast response and measurement at one specific point. Its response is fast and for specific point we can measure easily. So these are the advantages. Now disadvantages. Thermocouples located some distance away from the measuring device. Expensive extension wires, compensating cables have to be used. See, it is located at some distance, so we have to use extension wires and compensating cables. So cost of these cables and extension wires are increases. Okay, so this is we can say that one disadvantage. Thermocouples are not used in areas where high radiation fields are present. Okay, it means at high radiation fields we cannot use these because it affects the measurement. Generate non-linear output and at low voltage. See, in RTD there are linear output, but in thermocouples it may generate non-linear output. So, and output voltage is also low. Required a reference junction. In RTD there is no need of reference junction, but in this case reference junction required. Have a low sensitivity. Okay, sensitivity is comparatively low. Limited accuracy. Accuracy is also limited because it directly in the proportion of temperature range. Need type matching extension wires. So this is also disadvantage. Slow response than RTDs. Its response is slower than resistance temperature detectors. Then susceptible to stray electrical signal. So it is susceptible to stray electrical signal. So it is also disadvantage because it may affect the measurement.